thing. So now I've got a right ear and a left ear. Where is it? Right on top of the same one. But the ear is facing the same way. So I'm going to go over to the Edit, Transform, and I'm going to flip that. Now I can never remember whether I want to flip horizontal or vertical. I think I want to flip it horizontal. Yes, how about that? Jeez, those are giant ears. Okay. All right. Hit Command S because I've made changes that I want to save. Now let's use instead of the magnetic lasso tool, we'll use the polygonal lasso tool. I'm going to select from my background layer, and the polygonal lasso tool, everywhere you click, it creates a corner. And look what I forgot to change from the last time I was using Photoshop yesterday. It's transformed that shape into an oval because I have the feather option of it on for this tool. So I want to turn the feather option back to 0. I don't need to soften the edge of that. I want to do Command D to delete that selection. I'm on my polygonal lasso tool and I click. Try again. Come on. If I get any good at this. And I go back to my beginning spot, see how it turns to a circle, click, and then whatever shape, wherever I've put those edges, it makes a selection. Command D to get rid of that one. And so I'm just going to click around the edge of this piece of pasta, and you can see the little zigzag edges, which means this is particularly appropriate. So you don't have to be perfect, but just follow those edges along. And the goal is to understand how the different selection tools are appropriate for different types of subjects that you want to work with. I can make lots of little clicks to make a somewhat of a curve, but it's not a great curve. So you don't really want to use this tool if you want lovely smooth curves. So you get to try out different ones for different purposes. Click, click, click. Around we go. Get back to the beginning. Okay. I've got my area selected. Command C, Command V. Grab my Move tool. Drag it down here. Call that bow tie. Now, Command S to save. Okay, now we need a hat, mushroom tool. So there are different ways to do these. They're suggesting using the lasso tool. I'm terrible at this because my hand is just not smooth at following a long, steady line. So I put the tool on there and I click the mouse, and then you just drag it around the shape that you want. And I find this very nerve-wracking because you have to keep going all the way to the end, and yeah, whoops, pretty close. Oh, and the feather option is on this one too. Japers. I was doing something very different in the last go ahead. Now, let's zip through that a little bit quicker. Boy, I hate using this tool. I find this really, really uncomfortable. There we go. I'm on the bow tie layer, which is not appropriate. Click on the background layer, copy, paste, grab my Move tool, drag that hat up to the top. Yeah, great, excellent. Okay, hat, whoops. Okay, Command S. Eyebrows, last thing, very complicated shape. Okay, so we'll do it this way. I go to the rectangular marquee tool, so we're going to do multiple step of selection. I'm going to make sure I'm on my background layer. I'm going to draw a rectangle around that radish, collection of radishes. Not very precise, but now what I can do, because I have selected this area, and then I can transform a selection, adding, subtracting different elements. Now I'm going to go to the magic wand tool, because it's got a clean white background all the way around it. But what I want to do is subtract that clean white from that area of color that I have. So I start with the rectangular selection, go to the magic wand, roll over that cursor, roll over that selected area, and hold the Alt key down, and I get my magic wand tool with the minus button. Click once, bing! In less time than I can say bing, you can get that done. Command C, Command V, grab the move tool. Do you want big fluffy eyebrows? Do you want smaller eyebrows? I can go to the free transform tool, which allows me to rotate, which allows me to scale. Does it allow me to skew as well? Nope, just allows me to scale. Close enough. Hit the plus button. That is my left eyebrow. So you can see how many pieces how many different elements we're combining here. This time I'm going to copy that. I have the left eyebrow layer highlighted. If I take my move tool and I roll over that bunch of radishes, and then I hold the Alt key down, you can see my cursor change to the two triangles. So that means it's going to duplicate that layer. Now I've got left eyebrow copied down here in the layers palette, but I'm going to change that to right eyebrow, even. There we go. And transform that so it's facing in the right direction. Edit, transform. This is a flip horizontal? Yes, it is. Okay. Command S, file and save. And there you go. That is the basic version of this character. It's got a bunch of different pieces that you can change in various creative ways. You get to practice with these different selection tools to grab an area, transform that area, make adjustments to that particular area. So many things we can do. If we want to make a color adjustment, I can highlight that area. Sorry, grab the palette that jumped onto the other thing, and I can change the color of his bow tie because I only have that area selected, and any changes that I make are only going to happen on that particular piece. Now this is the genius of Photoshop. The last thing you need to do is, when you are finished, you do File and Save, and now we want to save it as a JPEG so you can submit it to Brightspace. File, Save As. So instead of Kovar 2 Veggie Head Start PSD, I want to save it as a JPEG. My poor eyes can't find it. There we go. Okay. It says file must be saved as a copy with this selection. We hit save. It'll ask us what JPEG option we want, and just save it maximum. I can't see it right here. Excuse me. Will I be able to call that window up? Lord. But it's in the folder where I started. Excuse me. Kovar R2 PSD and Kovar 2 JPEG. And there's my finished version. And I can upload that to Brightspace. Okay, let's stop there, and you can go ahead and get working on